Guys, Robot1 here, coming at you with my second place locals Tellarknight deck profile. Now, I know it's nothing big, I know it's nothing special, but I love Satellarknights. I haven't played them in a long time, and I got the deck back just recently, and I thought I'll take them to locals. And at locals, I managed to go X1 with them. Did really well, actually. The deck performed great, and I thought it was just a really good casual deck to show you guys because it's something a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun, very similar to Autogeist in a way with its playstyle. But it has one difference where it can just clear the entire board by returning everything to hand and then just gain more resources from doing that. And I thought it'd be a really good idea to just show you an updated deck profile of the deck and what I used during the local tournament, seeing as I was able to come second with the deck. And I only came second because the last round I lost the die roll to Pendulum, and then game 2 I kind of bricked because I opened 4 back row and an Unkalahalahai with no revive cards, so wasn't able to go any further because of that. But obviously the deck did do really well at locals, and I thought it would be a good idea just to show you guys the deck, show you what it does, and just tell you what it does. So yeah, let's get into this video because I want to show you what my Satellarknights actually do. So let's get into this. So first of all, we play free Satellarknight Deneb. Obviously, this is the key card of the deck where it searches any Satellarknight monster when it's summoned from your deck to your hand. Now, obviously, you need to be playing free of this. It's the most important monster in the deck because it continues giving you your resources to be able to continue playing the game, continue to compulsing the board, and just keep going in along those lines. We also play free Satellarknight Altair because obviously it's the one that summons the monsters back from the grave. So it can summon Deneb back from the grave, it can summon any of the other ones back from the grave. It's the one you're also always going to be searching with the Deneb, just so you can always guarantee that you have that revive ability to then go into more plays the following turn. We also play free Unkalahalahai. You want to be playing free of this because it's just another way to get Deneb into the grave, so you can just bring it back. He's very important on that fact because if you can't get to a Deneb, then you're not really going to have any resource advantage, you're not going to have any resource gain, and you're not going to be able to win the grind game essentially if you can't get to the Deneb to be able to get to more pieces, to then be able to get to more cards, to then be able to go further into the game. So very important that you have as many ways to get to Deneb as possible, and this is one of your very key important cards as well. And we also play 2 Satellarknight Vega. Summons any Satellarknight other than herself from the hand. So summon this, a Deneb, an Unkalahalahai, anything from the hand is just guarantee that you get to summon this for free. To get an additional summon to just guarantee you can go even further. We also do play the one Alsham, because I did do the play where you summon Alsham and another monster, then Cowboy for 18 damage, and I won the game because of that. And being able to just burn for a K, an eighth of the life, is very good, and this card is just a great card to play out in the deck at 1. It's not something you should be playing at more than 1, but it's something that can just really, really help the deck. So guaranteed burn damage is always nice. And for the last 3 monsters, obviously we play free Ash Blossom just because it's the best hand trap in the game. But yeah, the monster lineup, it's very standard outside of maybe the Alsham. You really just want to be playing as many ways to get to Deneb and as many ways to recycle your Deneb as possible, just so you can continue playing the game and go even further. But for spells, we played Triple Pot of Desires. I was testing Extravagance in this deck, but it was like, I felt Extravagance wasn't good enough, and I chose to just cut the Extravagance and put Desires in, because like there were times where I was just banishing all of my Triver, banishing all of my Deltaros, banishing just important extra deck cards that I kind of need to play the game, so it was like, I felt like this card kit was a lot better, and in the end it was. There were times I didn't banish Triple Deneb, Triple Altair, any of that, and I would always use this card after I was able to guarantee an Altair and a Deneb out of my hand, in my hand, so that it would just be able to guarantee the resource game, guarantee that everything like that. So it does come in handy, plus being able to draw those 2 extra purple cards, or being able to draw into another monster to get even further, or even the Deneb itself is very good. We also played 2 Pot of Duality, just being able to look at the top 3 cards, get any of them to your hand is really good. Every time I saw Deneb with this card, it was insane, and it was just very, very good throughout the day. And the last spell, 1 Reinforcements of the Army, because, well, it searches Deneb. I'm not gonna go too deep into that one. It searches Deneb. Or Altair or any of your other Tellarknights. But now for the main reason I played this deck, the main reason I played this deck for my locals was because you can play essentially 9 counter traps. So you can play triple Satellarknight Alpha, which sends a Satellarknight monster you control to the graveyard and then draws you a card if you destroyed the card that you negated. Free Solemn Strike, that just negates any summon in the game, inherent summon that is, and Free Solemn Judgment, that is essentially the same as Alpha, and it's like, I felt like this was a key reason for this deck to actually be really good, and throughout the day at locals it performed great. I didn't see any problems with it. It did really well in the end, being able to just guarantee an alpha or have a judgment or have the alpha to like negate any monster, spell, trap in the end. It was really good, and just having the access to 9 counter traps, it worked wonders. It truly did. Honestly, I loved it the entire time. But for other trap cards, we did play triple Infinite Impermanence, just because it's another hand trap, triple Call of the Haunted, and 1 Oasis of Dragon Souls, just because you do need a good amount of revival in the deck. So you need to always make sure you can just revive your Deneb or Altairs or anything from the grave, just to essentially ensure that you have more resource. Plus, if you have one of these set already and you Trigger, then you could just flip 1 on the Chain Link 2 of Trigger, summon the monster back, get the monster that you want to your hand, so it's just a guaranteed recyclability of anything in your grave. I also played 2 Compulse because it's just free removal for against like Thunder Dragons, Orcust, anything along those lines. And also, finally, 1 Imperial Order, because obviously we don't like spells and we want to stop them. So, very good card. So the main deck, honestly, it works really well, and I'm going to tell you guys now, this deck is a bloody fun deck. It really is. Like, honestly, it's something that you don't really see often nowadays, where it's just like a deck that, yes, it's a very heavy control deck, where if you can't get your control strategy on, it doesn't really do much. But if you can successfully pull off your control strategy, if you can successfully go into those games where you just grind continuously, it's a deck that is a lot of fun. It can win very easily in this format, and it's something that's really fun in general. But let's get into the side deck, just because I want to show you guys what the side deck is. So we do play 2 Assault. Basically, it's just there for when I open like Vega and a random Tellarknight monster, so I can like make this and be able to search Deneb. It's not there for any other reason. Like the 2 down pointing arrows don't come up at all, because like normally you're just going to make Trigger and stuff, so you don't really care if your monster's on the board. There are times where it can come up though, when you have like a Trigger and you want to be able to get rid of the Trigger to make another Trigger. So there are times like that where this card can come up, but outside of that, it doesn't really do much. It's mainly just there to search a Satellarknight Deneb. We do play 1 Nightmare Phoenix as well. I didn't summon it. It's just there because it's a pop. It's just a back row removal, so it can come up like that. 1 Boral Sword because OTK potential. I never summoned it throughout the entire day. 1 Gagaga Cowboy because Alsham plus Cowboy is 1800 damage and can equal game at times. 1 Abyss Dweller because I don't like Orcust. 1 Tornado Dragon because back row disruption, because why not? Didn't make it, but it's there if I need it. Triple Trigger because you want to max this card out so you can always guarantee that you're going to have one to compulse cards on the board. So it just guarantees that your opponent won't. It just guarantees that you'll be able to compulse the board. 2 Deltaros because Deltaros is just, I'm going to pop something for free, and if I leave the board, I'm going to summon a Tellarknight from the deck. So it's just another way to get to Deneb at times. 2 Dark Tellarknight Batalemus. This is the only reason the deck can really function in 2019, because it just gives you the ability to make Trigger with 2 monsters and a discard, so it it's required because of that, and also it can let you make Satellarknight Diamond on your first turn, because you make this, then you make Diamond, and it just says Orcust can't play the game because they can't send cards to the grave from their deck to the graveyard. If they attempt to add any to their hand, it's banished. And if they attempt to activate any Dark Monster effect, it's negated. So it's like this card and this card for like the Orcust deck is like really sick, because you just end on a turn 1 with 2 negates against Orcust, and it just stops them. It prevents the majority of their cards from sending to the grave, prevents them from activating the Dark effects, prevents them from adding any of their cards from their grave to their hand. Like, it's just a really good card in general. So it's just like, I felt like this is a very key power card against any deck that can play a Dark Monster. But obviously that's the main deck. We did play a side deck. I'm just going to show it off just so you can see what I sided throughout the day. We played Free Ogre because of just, it's the best hand trap in the side deck right now, because it just prevents like Pendulum and Pendulum Floodgate decks and stuff like that. Free Lancia because it just prevents like Thunder Dragon, Orcust, all of that shenanigans. And I did play against True Draco and Orcust on locals. It's just like, we just killed them, and then we lost to Pendulum because of die roll. Yeah, it happens. Free Nibiru because obviously I don't want to be comboed to death. Free Twin Twister because it's Twin Twister, it deals with back row. Really helped against the True Draco matchup because we popped an anti-spell that he flipped, and I was able to then get rid of it, be able to use the spell cards that were in my hands, such as Pop Duality or Pop Desires, one of the two, and then win the game. And then just free evenly matched because remove the entire board. I don't want to deal with that shit. But yeah, basically, guys, this deck is a lot of fun. Deneb Turbo, it'll always be a really fun deck. It's something that I personally have always enjoyed because it's just like, it's the first deck I would say that I full-on got competitive with. I had heroes, but this is the deck that really started making me get competitive at the game. And seeing that I'm still able to play it in 2019, and it's something that's a really fun control deck that can be played very easily and just simply a high amount of counter traps. It's just something that's a lot of fun, and I highly suggest that you guys try this deck out. But guys, if you have any changes that you would make to this deck, maybe with Carded Demise, maybe with other hand traps, maybe with maybe adding some floodgates in, please tell me in the comment section below, because I do enjoy this deck. I might play it again at locals, I don't know. This was just like a one-shot because I wanted to play something casual instead of like meta like I always do, because I want to win, but I'm getting bored of winning all the time, so it's like I want to play fun. But yeah, guys, tell me your thoughts in the comments section below. Tell me any changes you could possibly make. Tell me if you like this deck profile, and I will see you guys in the next one. Robot1 signing out with Deneb. Later, guys.